So in episode 4 of Unidentified, the episode's called The Fleet, and there's some really interesting points in that episode. So first of all, Lieutenant Graves says that he can call up 50 to 60 people right now that have seen these things, which is mind-blowing to me because it shows that they really were out there nearly every day, and they're out there almost all day long. So that to me suggests that it's not conventional aircraft. And then the narrator says that according to Lieutenant Graves, there's a longer, higher resolution version of the video. So that's game-changing as well. If that video shows TV mode or the smaller craft that are described, that would be amazing to see, honestly. He also says that they were flying in formation, the smaller craft were flying in formation, and that they turned around and headed out of the video. So that to me suggests that, at least in the gimbal video, it's not just radar reflective balloons, which it might have been in the Go Fast, but as far as the gimbal, I don't think that's a rational explanation. Also, it seems that Lieutenant Graves suggested that the gimbal object was stationary, so I'll play that clip for you right now.
And as Lieutenant Graves' squadron was preparing to deploy to the Middle East, they were seeing so many mysterious objects. They started sharing the videos when they got back on ship.
They're obviously very excited about what happened, and then they were heading down to watch the full video in its entirety.
There's parts of this video that we can talk about that aren't here. Let's walk through that.
So this object was significantly larger than the ones you're used to seeing.
Lieutenant Graves says the gimbal video is just part of a longer, higher resolution video he was shown on the ship. It included several smaller craft, the kind he was more familiar with.
They were essentially flying themselves in a formation. And then behind those was the object that you kind of see here. And not the world's greatest drawer, but
okay.
As you can see here, it almost looks like a gyroscope, right? The way it moves, the points coming out of the top and the bottom of what appears to be a disc, or at least a central mass on the object. So these objects were proceeding in one direction. The 5 at some point basically just turned themselves around with some type of radius of turn as a unit and started flying in that direction. At this time is pretty much where you see this video, where these are now out of the picture and it's just this guy that's stationary.
Is that why they refer to them as there's a whole fleet of them?
Yep.
Okay.
So there wasn't a whole fleet of these, there was just all these little guys. And then there was the one object which we had never seen before, which was significantly larger.
Lieutenant Graves says the way the larger craft suddenly rotates at 90 degrees is unlike anything he had ever seen.
It's rotating.
And finally, one of the most interesting parts of the whole episode was when they asked Lieutenant Danny Coyne if he thinks the US government has anything remotely similar to this type of craft. And his answer was really interesting because he basically said, I don't want to answer that right now. And what's the reason for that decision? I mean, what's the rationale behind that kind of a response? Is it because he doesn't want to jeopardize his career or get made fun of in the media or something? Or is it because he knows that we have something that could do this kind of maneuver? I don't know how he would have seen that, but it's an interesting possibility. So if you like this video, please hit that like button down below and don't forget to subscribe.